coffee and salad way.
Okay, can.
Just relax and have
Yeah,
the number kami.
correct. Hello, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How are you guys today? Yeah, this is Fazlin from Mega Express International Private Limited. We are doing our FB live here in a moment's notice together with Mr. Ronnie Tan right here from Halal Hub. So we are hoping that everyone who is tuning into this live to just tune in for a while and see. Can I just check if our volume and our what do you call that? Is everything okay? All right, so we'll give say about few minutes notice while everybody is tuning in and see if everything is okay in terms of sound and aerial view. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mirul, and ID as well, who's just joining in. All right, in this live interview, should you have any issues or any questions that you need to ask pertaining to halal matters, halal logistics, halal chains, or in terms of distributorship, if you have any products or services that you want to market overseas and you need some assistance with regards to that, then perhaps we can actually air your questions on air or leave your comments so that Mr. Ronnie right here, who is an expert himself, can actually answer your questions pertaining to that. Yeah, we'll start in 2 minutes.
Happening here in the expo.
Thank you very much, Abang Zaini. How are you? Thank you very much for joining in.
Okay, lagi kita untuk Elisa. Saya peminat ini itu lagu itu dalam kata-kata pengelolaan itu mengukir nama bukan saja Amerikas, tapi Allah juga itu ya. Dan kita menetapkan Al-Fatihah untuk Allah.
Okay. Can we start now, Sir Ronnie? Okay, can. Thank you very much, Salih, or Salihin, or rather, for joining in. Feel free to actually issue any questions should you have any issues with regards to halal matters here. Okay, so my name is Fazlin. I'm actually from Mega Express International Private Limited. We are actually doing an FB Live right now here in Halal International 2018. Right, today is the third day of the exhibition itself. Tomorrow is the last day. Right, should you have anything that you need to find in our exhibition, please feel free to come down. Right, we yearn for your support. Yeah. The local entrepreneurs and all the exhibitors that will be participating in this exhibition right now is yearning for your support. So please come down, feel free, enjoy yourself with the whole family. There are lots of things to look out for right here, right? Okay, so today with me, I'm very lucky to catch up with Mr. Ronnie Faisal Tan here, who is a very, very, very busy guy. And it's not very easy for me to catch hold of him now. But Alhamdulillah, here he is with me, and we are doing an FB Live, and we're going to talk a little bit about how Halal Hub, which I'm sure most of you guys know that Mr. Ronnie Faisal Tan is running it right now, right? And they are participating in our exhibition right now, and we want to interview a little bit with regards to the objective of why Halal Hub is participating in this exhibition, right? And who are Halal Hub merchants and how can you, should you have any products and services that you want to market, how can you become their merchants as well, right? And we are opening up this live session for any questions in relation to halal issues and halal matters as well. All right, so my first question to Mr. Ronnie, before we start answering the questions, maybe Mr. Ronnie Faisal Tan can actually explain a little bit about how Halal Hub and where he will bring and which direction how Halal Hub is going to. Mr. Ronnie, please.
Assalamualaikum. Thanks for staying. And I think this is the first time I'm doing live video for interview. Basically, after the collapse of Global Halal Hub, the closing of Global Halal Hub in Chai Chee, I lay low for a while because it affected me a lot since that's my baby. And through that, I became stronger in my faith. Fortunately, I met some ustads, even volunteers that guide me along the way. And then knowing that I was headhunted to join this company and convert some of the outlets to fulfill my dream into the Halal Hub. Today we have close to 10 already operations and 10 on the way.
10 operations as in for the whole of Singapore?
Yeah, 10 is currently in Singapore, areas in the north, south, east, west, in Woodlands, in Bedok, in Tampines, Bukit Panjang.
Okay, and how many outlets are we looking at?
By end of this year, we should have 18 in operations.
Okay. I would not like to actually touch on Global Halal Hub because that is something which is very much already happened in the past, right? Let's look at the future right now, and that is how Halal Hub, right? So what is the direction of how Halal Hub, and how can how Halal Hub benefited our local entrepreneurs and even overseas market in that sense?
How Halal Hub provides a marketplace for the halal SMEs and a very economical partnership to bring their products to our consumer. Bringing the halal food to the Ummah is always my intention. So, Alhamdulillah, through the grace of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that I can continue my legacy.
Okay, how Halal Hub is actually looking for support, and what is the exact what do you call it, plan or business strategy that how Halal Hub is going to engage in relation to Global Halal Hub previously? What is the difference between the two, and how can this concept help to benefit how Halal Hub as a whole?
From the perspective of this Halal Hub that we are doing to be nearer to the residential, unlike in the past where Global Halal Hub we are situated in the business park. Now for Halal Hub we are going into a bomb shelter under the HDB blocks, very close to the community. So inshallah, bringing the halal food to the community, I hope that it's more convenient and easy accessible.
Okay, great. All right, this is the first time that how Halal Hub is participating in Halal International 2018 or any halal exhibition organized by Mega Express International. So what is the objective of how Halal Hub being in an exhibition platform like this one, for example?
I think in terms of between exhibition organizer and us as a marketplace operator, it's always good to have collaboration on each other's strength. That we bring the wellness and awareness to the community. This is where we see a way of how Muslim we should be sharing our strong and positive skill to work closely together.
Right, great. I think that is very, very noble of our Halal Hub, and trying to actually encourage more people to go halal and to actually help and benefit the whole ummah. So, how many merchants are we looking at? I mean, how many merchants are participating right now in Halal International 2018? Perhaps Mr. Ronnie Faisal Tan will be kind enough to actually elaborate a little bit further about each individual merchants that is been supporting us for this exhibition.
When Faslin contacted me about almost 2 to 3 weeks away from the exhibition, I was very worried because normally this take at least 6 months or
Right.
even more to prepare.
Correct.
So what I did was I created a group chat, pulling in all my vendors, especially the halal vendors, together, and I actually speak to them or even chat with them that this is an opportunity because now with their products now selling in all the outlets, it's necessary for us, together with the vendors and together with Mega Express, to really showcase to the community. So with that, we have eight vendors that join us in this exhibition. I'm very glad. Yeah, so there are people from Spain, all the way from Malaysia, as well as products from Indonesia. Yeah.
Okay, great. I was just distracted a little
Don't worry.
bit.
In fact, in this exhibition, the community are now well informed of how Halal Hub, the branding, as well as we have a couple of exhibitors from Malaysia also approached us that they wanted to sell their products in our platform.
Correct.
Thanks to Mega Express.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ronnie. Okay, we actually work at a very last minute notice. I think Mega Express, on behalf of Mega Express, I actually approached Mr. Ronnie, say about 3 weeks prior to this exhibition, right? And I'm very surprised. In fact, I'm totally dumbfounded by how fast the network of how Halal Hub is and how fast they can actually respond to actually create something out of nothing to be able to make it in time for this exhibition. I would say kudos to Mr. Ronnie himself for starting the initiative in that sense, right? Of course, we are actually looking at something which is bigger and better, hopefully, in future exhibitions to come. All right, Mr. Ronnie, maybe you can just explain why, because I understand that you have been in the supermarket chain for a very long time. Why is it beneficial for our local SMEs and our local industry players to get themselves halal certified in that sense?
And honestly, when I actually came into the picture of the food industry, that was only 5 years ago. So it's very important for us to differentiate how Halal Hub away from the big boys.
Right.
So by doing that, we created a niche market, which is the halal supermarket. More and more demand for halal food. Realistically, the Muslim population are increasing. And of course, when we talk about the halal supermarket, we came in with education and awareness of what is the benefits of taking halal food. On the other hand, we also have to be competitive. That now with the outlets of 18, we are able to command and negotiate with the suppliers for better costs that we can actually outreach to our customers.
So is it correct to say that with the halal certification, be it whether you are being certified by MUIS or any other halal certification body, is it correct to say that with the halal logo, it is very much easy for us to actually market or actually export the product out of Singapore into overseas market?
Not necessary, because I think in every country we have our different taste and culture. So it doesn't mean to say that when we like to eat rojak here, China people will like. It's totally different. So you must really understand the market demand.
China don't have rojak.
They don't really like the taste, yeah.
Okay. So, but it is encouraged to actually get halal certification here in Singapore. Right? I think mostly because of our community who is very much reliant on halal logo itself, right? But of course, it is not mandatory. Am I right to say that? Because
For overseas,
for local
for
context,
local,
it is enough, I think, as a Muslim to get yourself certified under the 100% Muslim-owned establishment, which is being organized or is being offered by SMCCI. Am I right, Mr. Ronnie? Okay, great. So, Mega Express International Private Limited will be organizing a halal trade exhibition that will be happening next year in 2019 from the 15th to the 17th. It's a 3-day B2B, business to business trade exhibition at Sense Expo, Marina Bay Sands. So how can Halal Hub, together with their merchant, help to support Sehat 2019 and her cause?
I think I'm honestly, I'm very glad that this is happening after a long period of time that I hope Singapore can be a marketing hub for halal to represent the global products. So I must compliment Mega Express for these guts. And also because this has a lot of preparation, a lot of financial commitment,
Right.
And how Halal Hub and of course myself with the network that I have actually leveraged on for the past years will fully support this idea and also the exhibition. So in How Halal Hub, what we are doing is that for the next phase, we're going to share this with our global network,
Right.
And the other hand is that our local vendors to come together to create a pavilion under How Halal Hub together.
That's good.
And we're going to go together to grow globally.
Good. Alhamdulillah. I think that is what each and every one of us who has been in the halal fraternity is hoping very much for. Thank you very much, I would say, to Mr. Ronnie for this interview. No doubt it's a short interview. I would love to actually interview him a little bit longer, but there is so much questions that I need to actually ask with regards to the halal industry. Okay. If any one of you who is tuning in right now, should you guys have any questions whatsoever for Mr. Ronnie, I'll leave the air open for you guys to actually ask him any questions. Feel free to leave your comments, right? And Mr. Ronnie will clarify them with you right now, right? So I'll open it up for say about 1 minute or 2, right? So that you can have the time to actually leave your questions and your comments now.
If you guys have any products that you think that How Halal Hub can be your platform, do talk to us. We are always here.
It's okay.
Okay.
Oh,
We are in
okay,
a live
okay.
interview.
Sorry.
No worries, no worries. Thank you very much for your likes. Thank you very much for tuning in as well, Mr. Ali Abbas. How are you? How have you been? It's been a long while since we last chatted. All right, feel free to actually ask anything with regards to halal matters, right? Distribution matters, right? If you have any products or any services that you intend to actually export outside Singapore, right? Feel free to ask us anything, right? And we'll be happy to actually clarify and answer them for you. Chef Said is on air as well. And do you know Chef Said?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, right. How are you, Chef?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. I miss the bamboo rice.
The bamboo rice, right? All right. So for those who have been tuning in, feel free to just ask us anything with regards to halal matters. All right. If you think that we need to be on air again, feel free to just PM either me or Mr. Ronnie himself. Right. Then we'll do another session, hopefully, inshallah, tomorrow. Right. And we'll clarify your questions for you. All right. Anyway, this is Fazlin. I'm from Mega Express International Private Limited. This gentleman, very good-looking gentleman over here on my right, Mr. Ronnie Faisal Khan. He's from How Halal Hub. Both of us will be at Halal International 2018 at Singapore Expo Hall 5A. Right, today is the 3rd day. Tomorrow, unfortunately, is the 4th day and the last day. Right, Alhamdulillah, I think the response that we have received throughout the 4 days of this exhibition has been very, very encouraging. How was the response for How Halal Hub so far, Mr. Ronnie?
I think all of the vendors here have given their best, honest, and also very passionate this to the customers. So most of them are very happy, especially coming together like a family that we share our resources, our information, and basically I'm using my skill to create a short video for them. They are very happy because I never touch them a single cent, but because I always feel that in terms of collaboration, this is where I learned from. The art of collaboration is to be generous, respect, and trust.
Right. Well spoken by a well received business man in our community, Alhamdulillah. in all our business years together, we all know that business is not all about money, right? Actually, it's all about relationship. I think with that relationship, and especially within our community, which is really small community, all right, we need to be one cohesive unit, all right, in order to go forward. And that's the reason why we want to work with not only How Halal Hub, we want to work with a lot of other Muslim-owned business, right, in order for us to actually raise up our economy level, all right, and hopefully encourage more people to be in the halal trade as well. All right, so thank you very much, Mr. Ronnie. I would like to congratulate How Halal Hub for their presence here in Singapore Expo Halal International, and we look forward to more collaborations in the future, of course. Maybe a last piece of advice, a last piece of word from you yourself to our audience here.
I think all of us have our challenges in life, especially the up and down. When we are up, don't be glamorous. When we are down, never give up. Okay, be strong in our faith. We always have Him with us. When we walk to Him, He will run to you, and you know who am I talking to.
Right. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. We look
Thank you,
forward to
everyone.
more live sessions again. Yeah.
Thanks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.